Good evening, welcome back to our channel. You have been expected. Today we're going to take a stroll on the existentialist side of art. It happened that last year, October 22nd, a brand new museum opened in Oslo, in the waterfront, a tailor-made for the world's largest collection of art by Edvard Munch. With over 200 works of Munch on permanent display, 11 galleries, and 4,500 square meters of gallery spaces, this place is a wonderful place for the cultures and interests to meet, from the conventional and famous to the upsettingly obscure. I happened to visit this fantastic establishment with our fearless supervisor, Mr. Strangelove, who happened to be well acquainted with this establishment already. So we joined forces and cameras to bring this experience, or a segment of this experience, to you. This place is dedicated not just to art but to life of Edvard Munch, who occupies a very prominent place amidst existential artists. What you can see here is a schematic layout of his living space with original artifacts from his life and many little convenient buttons to immerse yourself into his headspace. So while I was busy pushing buttons and activating little triggers to have fun, Mr. Strangelove had good old time zapping through walls like a little ghost.
Yep.
Not just as an art enthusiast, but also a historian who routinely dives into people's life through their artifacts and material wealth that they left behind. He studied in the Royal School of Art and Design in Christiania and lived a bohemian life under the influence of his patron Hans Jaeger, who urged him to paint his own emotional and psychological state. From this emerged his distinctive style. He began to travel to Paris, where he learned from Gauguin and Vincent van Gogh and Henry Toulouse-Lautrec, especially their use of color, which of course he was a master in. Have you seen these beautiful, brilliant, vibrant colors? As his fame and wealth grew, his emotional state remained very much unfazed and insecure. He briefly considered marriage, but could not commit himself. A mental breakdown in 1908 forced him to give up heavy drinking, and he was cheered by his increasing acceptance by the people of Christiania and exposure to the city's museums. His later years were spent working in peace and privacy. However, he was always afraid that his works were going to be seized by the Nazis because Norway at that time was occupied. Most of his works survived World War II and secured his legacy. It is impossible to overstate Munch's creative invention in the realm of woodcut. He approached the traditional Germanic medium in such a creative, hands-on manner that very few artists have dared to attempt his techniques. He single-handedly invented a technique wherein he would use a jigsaw to cut his blocks into individual areas, usually using 2 blocks, one for the primary image and one for background, both carefully cut to puzzle-like shapes that were then inked in multiple colors before reassembled and printed in one pass. He was celebrated by the contemporary artists as a spiritual father to this technique and the woodcut itself. Munch's influence on modern printmaking cannot be overemphasized, although it is worth noting that unlike many contemporary printmakers, Munch showed little interest in producing editions, except in the case of formally produced portfolios by publishers. He was more drawn to the possibilities inherent in the experimental nature of printmaking, the infinite variety of inking, assembly, and papers. It is important to note that in woodcut he rarely made the same print twice. It is also notable that much of the drive to create prints was financially motivated, in that he could sell them considerably cheaper than his paintings and saw the process as a means of increasing his income. Well, art printing itself was invented to sell printings cheaper, as is stated by the godfather of printmaking and etching, Albrecht Dürer, whose motive behind printmaking was that he can put in every home arts, not just for the wealthiest of people in the 1600s. It is estimated that in his lifetime, Munch produced 748 registered print images with between 20,000 and 25,000 impressions. Topping even the giant Picasso, it seems to make him the most prolific printmaker in history, if not the most innovative. Munch left behind whopping 40,000 paintings, graphics, letters, photographs, and work materials when he died in 1944 in Oslo. His existential motives, including loneliness, love, fear, jealousy, and melancholy, have proven timeless and ever relevant. In my art, I attempt to explain life and its meaning to myself. Yearning for some sort of primal feeling is what draws people to art that stirs them deeply. Monk's The Scream could be seen to symbolize the existentialist philosophical mood to the late 19th and early 20th century. And here is it, the hero of the day, of the pinnacle of existentialism. The painting and the drawing and the pastel everybody can relate to. Because who doesn't just want to go out and scream from the top of its lung in the middle of a bridge? If you don't want to, you are not paying attention. Thank you for joining us on this adventure, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye!